Last lesson, we learned how to calculate an ability modifier from the ability field in the character sheet. But you may remember that I said there was two ways of doing this. And the other way is to creating a table. To create a table, you go to the table section and create a table called ability. Speaking of two ways, there are two ways to populate a table. One of them is inside criteria. You just click here, add new line, and they add a line for you to populate the table. Now we have a score of 1 and a modifier of minus here, minus 5. Okay. Now we have a score of 2 and we have a modifier of minus 4. We also have a score of 3 and we have a modifier of minus 4. If you are a lazy person like myself, you may want to do the second way of populating tables, which is exporting the table to a CSV file like ability 2024. Now, you open a Google Sheet and do import, save it, and it will be in the spreadsheets folder. So here is our ability 2024. You open it. Okay. I will simply replace spreadsheet. That's okay. And that's it. We have here the fields, score, and modifier. The order here may be wrong, but that doesn't matter. So here's 6, 5, and since we are in the spreadsheet, we can sheet. And now we have -3, -2, -2, -1, -1, 0, 0, 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 6, 6, 7, 8, 8, 9, 9, 10. Okay, file, download, CSV files. This is very important. You can use the same name, it's no problem. And return to here, import table. It's important to say replace here, and your table is here. Although, again, this is out of order, that doesn't matter, it will work. Don't worry about it. Now that we have imported our table, how can we use it? We will create another info which will do exactly the same as this information does for the sake of the course. Okay, and we'll call it, let's say, ability table or ability from table. Now let's review what we want to do. We want to access that table and return the modifier value. So we will access the key value and get the data field. How do we access a table? We use this guy named table field. We need to a return value. You already know it. A return value here. Where's the return value? Return value here. And we will use the table field here. Okay, the table will be ability, and the field will be modifier. Okay, but we need the score. The score comes from the character sheet, and we already know how to get the value from a character sheet using the main stat node. Use a main stat. Again, we could put a fixed name stat here, but we will use a parameter, just like the other info we created in the last lesson. So we will create a parameter here, and don't forget to click on return value. The parameter will be called ability again, and it will be a text, and we will use the node parameter value here in the field name, and the parameter will be ability. But now this parameter will be used to get the score from the table field, and the table field will return the field modifier. We are done, but I will review it, okay, for you to understand this. The parameter value will receive a string, a text with str or dex or con and so on. And we will use that value to access a field in the character sheet. Remember, we have fields with those names here. So we access the field, and it will return the field value. The field value, it's here. And if we are playing with Canorian and we receive constitution, it will return 10. Or here it will return 10. And we will use this 10 to access the table field. Let's go to the table. Table, ability, where's 10? 10 returns 0, which is exactly what we want. If we received, for instance, str, which Canorian has a 15 ability, a 15 will return 2 as modifier. So this information does exactly the same as this information. This information is generic. Any value any value you have in the ability will work, because this is a mathematical function. Sometimes you can use a mathematical function, and sometimes you can use a table. And that's not exactly personal taste. I will repeat this. If you think that a table will be changed or can be things that can be added to the table, you should use a table. In this case, Dungeons and Dragons say that there can be no stat over 30, so it's okay to have the table, but the mathematical will work every time. It's sometimes a question of personal taste.